Hello, can everyone hear me? Is everything working okay now? Hello? Hey, you guys, can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Fine, is that it? Oh, finally, you guys. The stress I've been having with Malgato. You don't understand the pain. I'm being serious. Like, in the end, I had to delete my entire software, delete all the folders, reinstall it, etc., etc. It's finally working now. It's good to see that everyone's back here. It's been a while since I've done one of these things, so yeah, you guys, it's good that you guys are all here. Everything's back to normal. That's it. So of course, when it comes to the whole live streaming thing, expect there to be changes. I've got my guy helping me tomorrow with the OBS because I want to make these streams look more professional. You know, like Mark Goldbridge, he makes his live streams look very professional. Obviously, you guys know I'm always trying to improve. I want to get better. That's what I want to do too. So my guy's going to help me, with my entire live stream setup for tomorrow. So thank God, basically. But you guys, you know what you're here for. You're here for the Q&A live stream. It's your time, your opportunity to have me answer any of your questions that you've got on your mind. I know a lot of people are going to try and ask about, players we're linked with, etc., etc. I really wouldn't do that. Wait for the video to come first before you start doing that. But you guys, I'm going to just get straight into things. Enough waffling on, enough of me like talking now. I want to answer the first question. Willian Castle, Furlan Mendy needed. Of course, seeing Furlan Mendy today was doing bits. CFC Anuj, Chelsea sent scouts today to Lyon. It's not the first time we've sent scouts to watch Lyon play and Lille play as well. Got a lot of top players, and it's no surprise why all the big teams are looking at Lyon right now. I don't know how clubs like Lyon do it. They constantly sell so many key players. They're able to constantly find these replacement players, young players to come through the ranks and obviously grow and get better. It's incredible how they do it, and it's kind of like if clubs like that had access and the resources that top clubs had, they'd be one of the best teams in the world. And again, Lyon, I don't know how they didn't win this game today. I think one of my friends, Nico, he's a big Lyon fan. He's always been saying that Lyon are terrible at defending set pieces. Conceded 2 today undeservedly. I don't know, it gets like that. But anyway, thank you, CFC Anuj, for that super chat. You guys, as you can see in the yellow, if you want your questions prioritized, because there are a lot of people, the questions do start coming through. Super chat's the best way for me to prioritize your question. I mean, I don't even have to explain it no more. Abdi, what you saying, man? When we seen Patreon stuff, honestly, one thing I need to do is I need to stop promising things because my schedule is hard. Obviously, you guys know I work at the same time as I do this, and with how I run the channel, it does get kind of long. It does get hard. I don't have the fortune that other channels have, where they do have teams of people with them. I mean, if I had teams of people with me, it would be way easier to obviously run a lot of this stuff. But I like to be a lone wolf, so apologies for that. I'm gonna try and step up and really get a lot of things sorted in the future. Greg Sander, I'm coming to the Chelsea Leicester game from the USA on December 22nd. Can I meet up with you? It would mean a lot to say hi. Yeah, of course. Quite a lot of people actually see me, at the games or after the game. Obviously, we're all the same fans. Just because I do YouTube, come on, we're all the same. We're all Chelsea fans. So, yeah, of course, 100%. I'll definitely link up with you afterwards, bro. Might even get a cheeky pint. So, of course, basically, we're 100%. Why am I messing up my words? Where 100% Chelsea do their videos with their fan cams. That's where everyone kind of just congregates and goes. So you'll definitely see me there after the game. But yeah, Greg, I'll look forward to seeing you on the 22nd. Abdi, Patreon, don't worry, you guys. Patreon guys, I will be answering your questions. Don't worry about that. Deluded Blue, what you say, man? I'm Deluded Blue. I need to apologize. I forgot to tell you. Obviously you recorded a video with me, but the audio was just really poor. I couldn't really save it, so I couldn't use the video. So apologies for that. I'm gonna have to play this on the gym, bro. Working out at this time. The dedication's real. Okay. Christian over at 4-2-3-1 with Kante playing alongside Jorginho. What do you think about that? It's a good thing you answer. You're giving me this question because number one, I mean, there are times during the game, because we do use a very dynamic system where, at times Kante will drop alongside Jorginho. So it's not as if Sarri's opposed to that. Obviously, the difference between, starting with that is that our whole build-up play from the back becomes very different if you're using a 4-2-3-1. And I kind of think that, people talking about Kante playing alongside Jorginho, as I was saying in the match reviews and the 5 talking points videos, the reason why we signed Sarri in the first place is to move away from this reactive style of football. Yes, of course, we've had managers that looked at our opposition team's strengths and they tried to counter that by being defensive and, really being more negative. The reason why we signed Sarri is because we want to be a team that starts imposing our game on our opponents, like we used to do back in the day when, during Mourinho's first term, where, guys like Sir Alex Ferguson used to defend against us. We're trying to get back to that level. So I think it's very counterproductive to really pussy out in a way to revert back to a 4-2-3-1 just so we can, I don't know, look a bit more defensively sound. Of course, no, it doesn't make any sense when the team haven't really mastered playing Sarri ball. And honestly, it's going to be one of these things where in the next few months, or even when it's next season, we're all going to forget about these talking points. We're going to be a much better team, a much stronger team. And we're all going to look back at this time. We're going to laugh. We're going to be like, why the hell did we worry about any of this stuff in the first place? So really, it's annoying because I know with how the world is today, everyone wants things straight and instant. We've got to be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day. If you want some, confidence and towards how the future is going to look at how Man City were under Pep in their first season. Of course, we're not going to be as bad as them because, we've got some stronger positions compared to Man City did at that time. But, just be patient. But what I'm trying to say is 4-2-3-1 is definitely not the answer. SP Danker, how are you doing, man? Despite their playmaking abilities, do you think we could see one of Rudiger or Lloris drop for Christensen to add a bit more stability in defence? Now, the thing I want to say is, if Christensen had played against Spurs, do people really think that we would have won the game? Now, this is what I mean about, looking at tactics, looking at how we played. One thing you need to ask yourself is, why was Luiz and Rudiger constantly having to move out to wide positions every single time? That's because guys like Aspie and Alonso weren't in position. Then ask yourself, why were Alonso and Aspie out of position? That's because someone on the top of the pitch lost possession of the ball, meaning that, of course, they are going to be out of position, meaning that you are going to force guys like Luiz to be out of position because with teams like Spurs, using very intelligent movement, you've got Son that was constantly running out wides, to attack the space in behind Alonso. That was something that they worked upon. So if Christensen came in, maybe he might have made one of the tackles that Luiz didn't get. But at the end of the day, the result was still going to be the same. Let's not pretend that all you need to do is be a good defender and that negates everything. The thing is, Spurs were exploiting us tactically from a system point of view, and that's how we lost the game. So everyone's talking about, if Christensen was here, if that guy was here, etc., etc. End of the day, it makes no difference. The result wouldn't have been the same. The result would have been the same. So I definitely don't agree. So I think that's how that's how we have to analyse how we're playing and our deficiencies so far. I've got another super chat. Thank you. Let me go through them. You guys, if you do send a super chat, just be careful. Make sure that you put your question in there because, I don't want you guys to waste your money. But again, CFC Anush, thank you, bro. Main targets for January. When it comes to January, again, any player that comes in is going to replace someone that we've left. As Sarri said himself, let's not forget this, he doesn't like how big the squad is. So even if one or two players leaves, it's not going to change anything. So if Moses goes and someone else, it's not going to affect anything. With the video I'm releasing, it's not about January transfer targets. It's about targets for positions we're looking at. Targets, that we've spoken to or we've inquired about their availability with clubs, etc., etc. So really, no one really thinks too much about January. I'll be surprised if we do sign someone in January. At the same time, the club are working now to try and secure targets for the next season. And I've got an idea of what's going to happen. So definitely stay tuned for that. As I'm saying, you guys, thank you to people that send super chats. But just, take a little bit of time. Make sure you put your question in there so you don't waste your money. But thanks for that. Okay. B dot, what's your opinion on at CFCY, aka Conteholic? Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really bad at putting like Twitter handles to like Avi's. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really good at that, so I don't really know who. Maybe I might know who that is, but I'm not too sure. So sorry about that. Um, Tala, hey Tala, how you doing? I had to finish with the missus early because of this live stream. Oh my god, I feel sorry for your missus, man. I'm only messing around. Youngans, is Pulisic just the American Morata? How? Because Morata's a striker and Pulisic is a winger. Jake Cole, I noticed after watching Inter games that that most of Icardi's goals come from crosses being cut back towards the penalty spot. We create so many of these chances every match, but Morata is too stagnant. Yes, Jake Cole, of course, you're 100% right. This is why Icardi is going to be an upgrade to someone like Morata, because his movement, he attacks the spaces inside the box. I mean, looking at Morata's movement a lot recently, I've been getting really frustrated. I've been getting really annoyed. He's not losing his marker quick enough. He's not going in areas where he can, drag out opposition defenders. He's not doing none of that. I mean, look at someone like Son against us. Look at the runs this guy was constantly making. Who the hell was doing that against Spurs? Was Morata ever doing that? No, he wasn't. And you need to do that type of stuff to, when you drag out your opposition defense, you create those spaces, you create those holes, and that's how you can damage a team. So it's frustrating, but yes, you're 100% right. This is what someone like Icardi can definitely bring. Okay. John Cumming, how are you going to use Patreon? There's been nothing in that regard for a while. You're right. I need to re-strategize everything, to be honest. So I just need to bear with me as I'm saying. I do work and I do YouTube at the same time. It's very long hours. So it can be hard. I don't have the luxury that other channels have, where they've got so many people working behind the scenes. Should I consider that? I'm not too sure, but just bear with me. I'll make sure I get all this stuff sorted soon. D-Lord, what you saying, man? You goods? Okay, Prince, please, Nini, in January, are we going to get Nabil Fekir and Rugani? Nope, hearing nothing about that. I don't understand where all this talk of central defenders is coming into play. Yes, we lost to Spurs. It's not as if this was our 10th loss this season. It's our first loss this season. And it's basically like how many months into the season. Some perspective, let's calm down a bit. All-American gang, yes, bro, what you saying? Okay, Nitska, Matsam, Morata needs to leave ASAP. Hey, if Chelsea could sell him, they happily would. So, people at Chelsea are in the same camp as us fans. It is how it is. Icardi isn't in his 30s. He's not. You must be thinking of someone else. Lorenzo Lopez Nini. Fredo or Heady One? It's got to be Fredo. I'm not going to lie. When it comes to Heady One, I'm going to sound blasphemous, I know. Obviously, I like drill. Obviously, I listen to drill too. But with Heady One, I just don't understand why people are so gassed about him. I don't know. I just don't really feel him as much, to be honest. I don't really like his throw that much either. Yeah, it's just too much for me. I just don't really like him that much. Abdi Adan, what's everyone's opinion on the Yerders hating on Carefree Lewis G? Not gonna lie, there might be racist undertones because there's other guys who vlog like George Benson. Yes, and obviously Sophie, and that Brazilian guy. You guys know the Brazilian guy that does vlogs at Chelsea. Now, his vlog's actually really good because his camera quality is the best, and obviously he actually puts effort into them. But again, I think it's completely stupid. This whole fake outrage. I really hate fake outrage. The reason why I hate that is I hate when people waste their energies on really pointless things that really aren't that deep, aren't really a big deal. And it's kind of like, we've got better things to do in our life. Life is really short. There's much bigger problems out there than some guy that's vlogging, especially when a lot of other people vlog and they don't get targeted. So I don't really understand that. I think it is stupid. I think it's people that's looking to hate for the sake of it. And I think when people just don't like you for the sake of it, then they look for very weak, excuses against you. I don't see there's nothing wrong with vlogging. When people vlog, as I was tweeting, you're always seeing nostrils every single time. Why is that? Because the camera's underneath them. Why is the camera underneath them? To not impose people's, enjoyment of the game, to not get in people's way. That's why everyone's looking down when they record. And when you look at every match vlog, what do they record? Misses and goal reactions. That's all it is. And when you compare the whole vlog, it's literally like less than 50% of that is footage from the game. So again, it's just people that just have an agenda that don't like certain people for the sake of it. So it's all stupid to me, really. Lalit, thank you for the super chat. Right backs and strikers we may actually sign by the summer. Hey, you got to stay tuned for that. Why do you support David Luiz? We might lose Andreas. Now, I feel like I've spoken about this quite a lot, and my thing's always been, why is Luiz seen as the guy getting in Christensen's way? Why is no one ever looking at Rudiger, which I've never understood? Because I mean, really, you're going to play Christensen on the right hand side and not really on the left. So what I think should be happening, as I've always said, Sarri needs to just rotate. When you look at Man City, look how often he rotates with Otamendi, Laporte, Stones, and company. They rotate every single time, and that was actually one thing that made me. I was actually looking into this even more in regards to Pep Guardiola. Now, Pep Guardiola is actually renowned for constantly rotating his teams and swapping players every single time. I mean, how often does Pep use the same consistent first 11 week in, week out? He doesn't do that. And it's really got me thinking, Pep Guardiola, in my opinion, will be the best manager in the world right now. It's been one of the best. He's one of the legends of the game. Will be spoken about in the future. People will analyse, break this and that down that he's done. But he's constantly been rotating ever since he was at Barcelona. And you've got to realise that Barcelona, probably the greatest club team that's ever been in the history of football in terms of the football they played and how dominant they were. The guy introduced 37 academy players to get their debuts, and he constantly rotated as well. And he was doing this with the best team there's ever been. And it's got me thinking, the reason why his teams are so strong, the reason why he's constantly able to rotate is because of the rotation. It's because all the players are accustomed to the tactics. Now, what Sarri's doing, which I don't really like as much, even though I can understand why Sarri's doing this, because he wants the first team players to really master everything. I think that that's going to make it even longer for the squad players to get used to things. And this is why in the Europa League we've been kind of mundane. This is why we're not really scoring goals or looking as dynamic compared to the first 11. And it makes sense, because if these guys barely ever play, and then one day, or out of one game a month in the Europa League is the first time they play together with other guys that don't really know their system as well, it's no surprise why things are going to look bad. And I'm just thinking, I don't know why Sarri's being so pragmatic with how he's using the squad. We should be rotating. The more you rotate with the players, the quicker everyone's going to get on board with the system, meaning that obviously as the season prolongs and progresses, you can afford to rotate, you can afford to rest players, and the team's not going to be weaker because of that. And I think that's the number one issue. I don't think it's right that he's not rotating. I think certain games, let's say we played against Palace, Christensen could have played. Are we a weaker team? Of course not. He should just be rotating. With a lot of the players we do have in the squad, they are good enough, but he seems to be very reluctant when it comes to that. And I think if there's one criticism, even though it's not the biggest criticism, but if I had to critique Sarri for that, it's going to be down to that lack of rotation and being too pragmatic with that. You guys, what do you think about that point I made? Let me know. But don't worry, you guys. I'm seeing all the super chats and Patreons. Right, it's been a while since I've done this, man. I need to get up to terms with stuff. Okay. Will Rayner, yes, Will, how you doing, man? Hey, who would your ideal realistic fullbacks be? That's an interesting one. I'm looking at Nelson Semedo at Barcelona. Is the guy playing as much as he should be? Should Sergio Roberto really be playing over this guy every single time? Not too sure about that. Of course, Ferland Mendy, looking very promising, looking very interesting as well. I like Ricardo Pereira from Leicester. I like the fact that, he's got that extra option where he can play on the wings, he can play as a right midfield, and he can play wing back and right back. I like that versatility, and I think he's a very good technical player on top of that. On the left as well, if Alex Sandro's finally, if he finally decides, fuck this, I'm sick and tired of wasting my time at Juventus. They clearly don't want to give me the contracts I think I deserve. Maybe it's time to see what the Premier League's saying. If the guy's available, I don't know. I think we'd have to look into him. There's no way in hell we can let this guy go, because I've been stressing this recently in the past few videos. Every top team in the world, all their top wingers, they've got top fullbacks supporting them and they're playing. Alex Sandro and potentially Eden Hazard's What's stronger than that in the league? Nothing. Um, okay. Okay. Um, okay, let me answer some Patreon questions now. Good to see everyone. Josh Banks, bro, it's been so long. Gatsby with some Depay news. Hey, I'm not saying nothing just yet. Abdi Adan, what do you think about his side? Aspie centre back. No reason why he can't play centre back because he's too small, but he's bigger than Cannavaro and Puyol. Can learn to play out the back under Sarri. After all, well, no. I mean, why? I mean, no. He can learn to play out the back. I guess he can, but you'd have to use him for how many seasons? Aspie's just not that type of ball-playing defender. So, no, I don't want to see Aspie playing in defence whatsoever. Look how often the guy loses possession of the ball. We can't, by now, I feel like I speak about this point quite a lot. You know, we're a Sarri team. It's very important. It's essential how we play out from the back. As we've seen recently, when we struggle to play out from the back, when our passing lanes are closed off by opposition teams, and we get pressed as well, and we lose possession of the ball, we're screwed. It's not good for us. So why do you want to put someone like Aspie in a position where he has to take a lot of responsibility, where he's known to be susceptible to a press? It doesn't make any sense. Yes, I understand, using Cannavaro, he's a bit taller, etc., etc. But look how we're using the team. We're not defending like how Cannavaro teams were. But it's completely different now. So I don't agree with that, bro. Jordan Grobler, how you doing? Hi, Nini. Do you think if we're looking to upgrade the quality in our squad in the future, Sarri would have to rotate more? Yes. For example, City have so many high example. Yeah, 100%, Jordan. And I kind of feel like I've answered this point already. So, yeah, there's that. Give me 1 second. Damn, it's been a while since I've done these live streams. Okay. Answering some more questions. Black, Husai or Aspie, or my guy said Aspie. So petty. I don't really see there being a difference. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't want Husai to come, in my opinion. I think if you've got Aspie, there's no point going in for Husai. What upgrade are you getting in that position? So that would make no sense. Abdi, are we ever going to replace William Pedro? Yes. And this is why the club are looking at Christian Pulisic as an example. Lunt Bazzi. Hey, this guy, man. Mr. Controversial. Okay. Stealthy Ninja, do you think Sarri can convince the club to finally wake up about youth? Keep up the good work. Thank you, bro. I think Sarri has just been a bit too pragmatic in the sense that he wants the team to really get up to speed quickly with the system and the tactics. So I think this is why he's been a bit too pragmatic with his use of the squad. It's got to change. I don't think it has to be that deep, in my opinion. It's got to rotate a lot more. We should be seeing Christensen should have played a lot more already. The guy shouldn't be playing in Europa League games or Carling Cup games because, number one, you're telling the player, I don't trust you, you're not good enough. Here's the BTEC games. You get to play in the BTEC games. You're not allowed to play in the Prem. It's stupid, it's short-sighted, and it's just going to potentially push him away to go somewhere else. And every top team, I'm telling you, Juventus will look at him, Barca will look at him, Madrid, all these teams will start looking at Christensen. So it would be very stupid to do something like that. And I'm really praying that Sarri's going to lose his pragmatism and start rotating more because it's not going to be the end of the world. Think about it like this. So let's say Christensen is, playing over Luiz or Rudiger. Does the whole team become weaker because Christensen's in the team? Of course not. The benefit is if you rotate like this, Christensen's going to get up to speed with the play even more. He's going to feel much more confident because I think a lot of his performances have come from the fact that, number one, you're forced to play with Cahill, who's not helping you whatsoever. And then you're playing with teammates that aren't really accustomed to the system as much. So how are you really going to show what you can really do? You can't. So Sarri has to rotate more. Okay. The opinion. What do you think about the new Higuain stories developing? I'm not really hearing anything. But as I hinted at in yesterday's video, Sarri has spoken personally to a player. So you'll hear about that very soon. Okay, cool. I'm going to look at Patreon questions again. Remember, if you are a Patreon subscriber, send in your questions. Dennis Taylor, how you doing, bro? Okay, what are your thoughts What's your thoughts on not having a left footer in the attackers? Well, I think that's a massive mistake. I think that, of course, looking at Pulisic, here's the thing. When I'm looking at Pulisic, the club are just thinking, you know what, Willian and Pedro aren't going to be here forever. With someone like Pulisic, yes, we've got someone that can play on the wing and he can cut inside on the left-hand side if it ever gets to that. We definitely need someone on the right-hand side with the left foot. Some players are being looked at to fulfill those types of, qualities in the team. But in terms of, number one, shots from that side will be better. The link-up play with the fullback would be much better because it's not going to be slowed down. But you've got two guys playing against teams that are parking the bus, that have the same type of foot, you can't really link up that much. And really, you're relying on the movement from the attacking player. You know, someone like Willian, as I've always said, he's not that type of guy where his game's very strong when it comes to off-the-ball movement. Willian's really a winger that likes to shoot on goal. He's got a goal threat. He's not really that type of playmaker. So it's no surprise why he does struggle at times doing that. But yeah, 1,000%, we need someone on the left foot. It makes a massive difference, especially in the tight spaces and tight areas. Because when you're playing against these very defensive teams, you know, the quality that you have in those tight spaces and areas becomes even more important. So I think that, yeah, we definitely need to get a left footer. Okay, what other questions? Boom. As I'm saying, if anyone wants their question prioritized, send a super chat. Let me scroll up. Wisdom, what's your opinion on Under at Roma? I'll be honest. Of course, I know the player, but I mean, now that you can't watch Serie A games or La Liga games, I can't really see these guys anymore. Now, yeah, I know I could find a stream online, but the benefit of having this shit on TV was the fact that if I was watching TV and I just scroll by the sports channels, I can just catch a game and I can watch it. I'm not going to plan my day around watching Serie A games or La Liga games. It's not going to be like that. So it becomes even more annoying that this shit's not on TV anymore. So I don't really know what he's doing at Roma, to be honest. T3, don't you think that Chelsea fans are being stupid about Jorginho's team focus and set a man on him and try to shut him out of the game and he's seen as shit? Bro, you need to get better with your comments, man. But but when it happens to Hazard, no one says anything. Yeah, I understand your point. I kind of feel like in regards to this Jorginho thing, I think I've really spoken about this so much that I don't really want to talk about it again, to be honest. I mean, of course, I agree with your sentiment. You're right. I don't know why people are saying this type of stuff, but I think, you know, I'm kind of noticing the pattern that when people have that type of opinion, they really take strongly to things that Alan Shearer says or guys like Ian Wright say on TV, etc., etc. So if you see it like that, you know not to really take it too deep or really get too fussed about that. But I don't know, I feel like I constantly talk about the system, Jorginho, etc., etc. By now, and I know 90% of you guys already know this by now. You know, I feel personally I just can't keep talking about it every single time. As I'm saying, if you are a Patreon subscriber, send in your questions. I will be answering them. And of course, if you want a question prioritized, send a super chat. What else? Kemal AAA, how you doing, man? Can you see us spending a lot in the summer? Yeah, 100%. Because, you know, I mean, I'll tell you guys the positions. It's not really a spoiler. We're looking at a striker. We're looking at a right back. We're looking at a right winger as well, and we're looking at a backup for Jorginho. So the other four positions we're looking to strengthen. Who knows what happens in January? I'm not hearing anything just yet, but most definitely in the summer. And I think they're definitely the four areas in the team we really need to strengthen: striker, right wing, right back, and backup for Jorginho. Because when he's not playing, we don't have that proper Regista who's great defensively. So, yeah, it's going to be a very interesting summer, and hopefully we sign the right players. If we got to overspend to bring in a big boy, let's do it, for God's sake. If we get Champions League football, as we saw in Conte's second season, the spending became a bit too loose. This is why we signed stupid guys like Drinkwater and signing guys like Bakayoko and, you know, spending a shitload of money on guys that haven't improved the team, have done nothing, etc., etc. But if you cast your minds back to that season, you saw how much money we spent. If we get Champions League football, expect there to be even more money that's spent. Remember, in terms of the money we spent even this summer, we didn't even spend all our budget. So I think that potentially in January, I'm not too sure just yet, but definitely in the summer, it is going to be exciting again. And I think the club are definitely serious to really make those strides, progress, move on, and improve the whole team. And of course, it makes sense if you've got Eden Hazard constantly bitching and moaning about, potentially leaving, and basically hinting at the fact that no, it's not a mentality thing. The guys just aren't good enough. Then there's even more pressure from Chelsea to spend money on quality players with quality positions. Okay, boom. Any other Patreon questions? Not just yet. Callum Ross. Hey, Callum. Anyway, so yeah, Callum, I'm gonna add you to that. And your next question. Anyway, my question is: do you think Reece James, Jada Silva, or Sterling have a chance pre-season next year? Now, I think there's potential for that. And again, there's a similarity between Conte's first season and his second season. During Conte's first season, think about it like this. The guy was with the Italian national team. When he took over at Chelsea after the Euros, he didn't really have much time to assess everyone in the team. I mean, think about it like this. His whole focus has been on that international tournament. So it's not realistic to expect that he's going to know every single youth player, every single loan player, and have the time to really go through all of that. It's just not the reality. Most managers don't really care about people that aren't in the first team anyway. That's the reality of football. But I think that next season with Sarri being accustomed to how the club is, probably knowing a lot more of the youth players in the team, better relationships, maybe asking around as well. I definitely think that there's a high probability that guys like Reece James, De Silva, maybe even Sterling might get the chance to show what they can do in pre-season. That's what I'm hoping for. Let's see what happens. I think that in Reece James and Jay De Silva, if anything, they should be good enough to be backups for first-team left-backs. If they still don't trust our fullbacks, these guys are good enough to be backups. We shouldn't be spending, 50 million on Emersons and Zappacosta's when they don't play. It's really stupid when you think about that. And imagine if you never signed these guys. That 50 million could have been spent on God knows what we could have spent that 50 million on. So let's see what happens. I definitely think that there'll be an opportunity for loan players to really show what they can do in pre-season, because I think that Sarri's he's going to be more settled at the club. So this makes more sense. Any other super chat questions? Ahmed, hey Ahmed, thank you for that super chat. Any hope for Zuma's future at Chelsea? So far, I'm not really hearing anything in regards to Zuma's future. I'll be honest, I haven't really asked about that. That hasn't really been my priority. So, you know what? I'll find out if there's anything happening behind the scenes. But I mean, Zuma's been decent with Everton so far. And he's on a massive, he's on a very long contract. He signed a 6-year contract before he left on loan last season. So, he's definitely going to be in the club's plans. I think with Cahill going, does it make sense to sign another defender when he can just bring back Zuma? And the funny thing is, a lot of you guys say this, I'm constantly saying this all the time, but this whole stupid myth that Zuma can't play football, he can't play out from the back, utterly nonsense. You guys, I'm a geek. When he was at Stoke City, I went on their Reddit pages, I went on their fan forums. No one said nothing about the guy being shit technically. I've done the same thing for Everton's SB Nation. They all talk about how good he is technically. So I don't understand where this whole myth came from, that Zuma can't play football. I don't know where it came from. The guy can, and I don't know, sometimes when you use logic and Chelsea, these two things don't work together. Logically, it makes no sense to sign someone like Rugani, who's been back up his whole life. Rugani to me is like the Alvaro Morata of defenders. I don't see why you spend big money for a guy like that who's never really done anything so far. Bring back Zuma. He's showing that, yes, he has been good in the Premier League over the past 2 seasons. He can play. He's probably the best defender with Van Dijk in the league when it comes to winning aerial balls as well. He's very strong, very fast, good positioning too. In a way, I've always seen Zuma stylistically similar to someone like Rafael Varane. when you analyze their game, it's not really that different. It's not really that crazy. I think we need to use the guy, in my opinion. Okay, other questions. Okay. Okay, let me find one. Wendy, have you seen ESPN's criticism of Jorginho? I have seen that. And again, it's just more guys that, I don't know. Maybe the cynical part of me is thinking these guys bring up these fake talking points because they've played football. They know they should know about his system and football already. Maybe they bring up these fake talking points to just get views. I mean, is it really that crazy to think? I don't think so. If you say that Jorginho is pissed off, number one, you're going to trigger all the Chelsea fans. They're going to go click on your video or click on your link. They'll most likely share it too because they've been pissed off as well. More pissed off people will see it. And that's another way to get views. So, and of course, the guys that aren't Chelsea fans that know nothing will see, oh, Jorginho is struggling, blah, 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 let me hear. So, I mean, I don't know. I just think it's a ploy to get views. So I don't really take it too seriously. Okay, Malcolm X. Varane is the most overrated defender in history. The guy, yeah, I mean, to be honest, this season hasn't been too great so far from what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that he's been really poor for Real Madrid since he's come back from the World Cup. It's not as if the guy's really been a first team player forever at Real Madrid. I don't know. But I mean, I think with his reputation now, if he was available in the market, every big club would just sign him for the sake of it. Okay. Ali, Zuma is a horny centre-back. Imagine how peak it will be losing him and Christensen. Now, I always thought the future of our defence would be Christensen and Zuma playing together. Zuma can play those passes. Christensen can as well. I don't know. If we ended up losing out on Christensen and Zuma, and we sign pricks like Rugani and other players like that, oh my God. I think a part of me will probably just not rate my club as much. You know what I mean? It's really weird how football is sometimes. Like, if you look at it a bit cynically, it's like we support clubs that don't do anything that we like in football. For example, you know, if you like youth players to be used and, like, I don't know, a certain brand of football, etc., etc., you know, we haven't really been doing any of that stuff over the years. And then it gets you thinking, you know, we're supporting a club that does nothing we like. This is what I mean. Again, you know, it's what you got to go through when you support a club. You're there for the highs and the lows. But obviously, it is like something funny to think about. But I wouldn't be surprised until a director of football comes, until guys like that Scott guy aren't telling Marina to sign fucking shit English players that aren't doing anything to improve us, that aren't even in the first team. Then it's always going to be a bit worrying when it comes to this type of stuff. We desperately need a director of football. Oh, I heard some crazy shit too about Luis Campos. My source promised me to never disclose anything, so I can't disclose anything just yet. But when the time's right, I'm sure he's going to let me talk about that. Expect a big video on Luis Campos, what his plans were for Chelsea, why more details as to why the deal flopped in the end. Because, of course, the stuff I told you in the previous video is all correct, but there's even more stuff in behind. In particular, you know, what the strategy was going to be with Luis Campos in charge. And it's actually very fascinating. It's very insightful. It's very detailed. And it really just points further criticism towards guys like, not guys, people at the board like, Marina, Scott, and all these other guys. So I'm just praying that Sue the Plug is going to let me talk about this soon, because it's going to be very interesting. CFC Anuj, my guy. Nini, if we beat City, then can we rethink a title challenge? We can be ambitious. Obviously, we're Chelsea fans, so we always should be. I've never really been too fussed about the title. I've said that we can be title contenders, and what I've always been saying is the fact that we're not going to win the league, but we're not going to be 20 points behind the league leaders. We might be 7 or, something like that, 7 points behind, which is definitely a massive step up. And it shows you that we'll be even better the following season. So I see our season going like that. We 1000% need to win the Europa League. There's no debating that. Sorry needs to win that. We can't lose that. And I think maybe if we can get another trophy, that's good. So, yeah, it's interesting. The opinion, Nini. What do you know about the Higuain stories coming out? I mean, nothing really, in my opinion. There's not, as I've been saying, Sarri's been speaking to someone else. Thoughts on Piatek? Oh, Piatek. Now, we're not linked with him, but I know a club that is linked with him, and I will be talking about him in that video I release. Bradley Ford, Sousa would be a steal price-wise. He's a decent player too, but I'm not hearing anything about Sousa. Nothing's been said about him, so I don't think we're looking at him. Tovan's always, I mean, I don't know. I've spoken about Tovan before in previous videos. It's just always been that player that's been looked at, and he's been doing very well for Marseille. And I think that I always saw this guy as like the new Ribéry. So, I mean, he has to leave Marseille this season. Okay, Pulisic in January or summer. Well, I don't see him coming in Jan. I think someone told me this, someone obviously, I can't remember it exactly, but I think if you wait till the summer, he only costs like 30 million. So if that's the case, Chelsea won't spend 70 million on him. Maybe there might be like a pre-agreement made in January if that potentially happens, so he comes in the summer. I don't think Dortmund would want to let him go now. I think if he bought him right now, he would cost 70 million. So you guys should know by now. I mean, anytime, we should know this by now. Whenever you see a story where a player has a ridiculously crazy high price tag on his name, remember that Marina's in charge. Remember the club strategy. I feel like I've spoken about this quite a lot. Put 2 and 2 together, and do you really think she's going to spend 70 million on someone when she can sign the guy for less in the summer? Of course not. But Pulisic is, I don't know about Pulisic, is an interesting one. I don't know. It will kind of annoy me, I can't lie, because I look at someone like Pulisic, it gets me thinking, we could have had our very own in someone like a Masunda or Boga if we just used them. And it's like, I hate what big clubs do with their young talent. Think about it like this. All the big clubs spend tons of money signing the best youngsters from across Europe. They spend a lot of money. They risk getting transfer bans. This is what really baffles me. I don't get this. These big clubs risk getting transfer bans to poach youngsters. And then when it gets to actually bringing them into the first team, it never happens. So what's the fucking point then? What is the point going through all of that when there's no plan in place to even get these guys to be first team players in the future? I never understood that. And it's just like, they do this stuff for some reason. And then they look at clubs like Dortmund and Lyon to be the clubs that use these young guys, because they don't, for some reason, big clubs can't afford to take any risk for anything whatsoever, even though they can afford to take the most risk compared to lots of other clubs out there. The mentality in football, it's just so contradictory. I just don't get it, in my opinion, and it is really frustrating. It is really frustrating. You guys give me 1 second. Okay, other questions to answer. Remember, if you are a Patreon subscriber, you know what to do. I mean, you should know what to do by now. I can't keep saying it. Okay, no Patreon questions. Any more super chats I've missed? None. If anyone wants any questions prioritized, or you just want to help support the content, super chats are good. Okay, what other questions? How long have I been on for? So, okay, I'm going to be on for another 17 minutes before I dip. So obviously, no one get too emotional. 1 second, you man, 1 second. Okay, a Bloxers TV. We should sign like 5 players. 5 or 4 players. I think that's a decent amount, to be honest. I don't think there's anything too crazy with that. Lorenzo Lopez, Nini, would you beat Marina? Yes, of course. Abdi, Berger is so technically gifted. What a shame he is. And I don't know. I don't want to start, I don't want to come across as the guy that's trying to bring race into things for no reason. But let's hear my context first before some people react. But we know that, stereotypes are a thing. Sometimes if you're when you do stereotypes, it doesn't mean you're the worst person in the world. It doesn't mean you're racist. It just means that, you're just believing in something you haven't really thought about too much. And I look at Jeremy Boga. all the clubs he's moved to on loan, he's played as a winger. And it's always baffled me because he's always been that number 10 at Chelsea every single time. He's a cam. And I just don't understand why he's always forced out wide. And it gets me thinking, if this guy was some Spanish guy or some Brazilian, would clubs be forcing him to play out wide because he's got a bit of pace? Of course not. And it's just like his whole football development has been slowed down so much because of misuse tactically. And that's the type of shit in football I just can't stand. I really can't stand it. I don't know why it happens all the time. It makes no sense when there's so much money involved, so much experts in their fields, etc., etc. Why is football so inefficient? We'll never know. It's going to continue to be like that, and I'm going to be annoyed for the rest of my life, realistically. Okay. Drew Blue 9877. Remember Mitchie? Yep. Okay. Hussein Ahmed. I've heard Isco is unsettled at Madrid. Honestly, I agree. If Isco is unsettled, I'm sorry, Kovacic, thank you for helping us this season. You've really helped kickstart Sarri ball, but if Isco is available, you've got to sign him. And when you sign someone like Isco, someone like Eden Hazard is going to think, oh shit, Isco. Imagine linking up with Isco down that left-hand side, and imagine if the club got a better left-back for me. You know what I mean? That shit makes a big difference. I think that by now, if you're Isco, I don't know who's been selling this guy dreams to continue to stay at Real Madrid, even though they've barely done this guy justice over the years, even though he is a fantastic player. I don't know. It's like Isco's going to become the new Guti at Real Madrid. You know, he's one of those top quality players you can rely upon, but he'll never be that first choice type of, you know, always in the team type of player. He's got to move on. I just don't get it. Okay. Kimmich, Danny. I mean, Kimmich is going to leave Bayern Munich. Why? Okay. Ali. I feel like I've been seeing this guy's name a lot today. Yeah, Isco is a tasty proposition. Kwame. Isco is someone much better than Kovacic because he gets goals on top of what he does with his build-up play and his assists. And I think that Kovacic, I don't know, I'm not going to lie. I think for Kovacic to be that guy that has a defensive threat, he'd have to stay here on a permanent, and we wouldn't see it until next season. But it's like, why not just sign Isco? Yeah, he's like 2 years older, but he's a better player. It's going to be interesting. It really will be. I'd expect a ton of clubs to be in for him, and if that's the case, I definitely think Man City will look at the guy as well. This is where guys like, not guys, I need to stop saying guys, but this is where the board needs to step up and really show, you know what, we're a top club you need to come to and sign for. There's an opportunity to do that if he's available. Harry Truman, Son up front. Nah, I kind of think like Son to me is stylistically similar to like a Cristiano Ronaldo. If you force him up front, a lot of the fantastic stuff to do with their movement is kind of lost because, of course, when you play up front, you can't be too crazy with your movement. I think that he's much better making runs from deep compared to having to lose a marker when he's been man-marked. So, nah, Son wouldn't make any sense. Nini, what about Sky Sports reporting Martial to Chelsea? Now, with the Martial thing, actually, you know what? I might even talk about Martial now because he's not going to be in my video. And I think now that I don't have to talk about him in the video, I can save on some time there. But everything so far from what I'm hearing is quite, not conflicting, but there's nothing really new with the whole Martial situation. What I've been hearing is that Man United are considering giving him a crazy contract. And by crazy, I'm talking about the contract offers ranging between 200k to 300k. And if you're Martial, it does get you thinking, one, yes, I was thinking to leave regardless if Mourinho stays or not. But if I come to Chelsea, am I going to get a contract anywhere near as big as what United would give me? No, you're not. And you've got to realise when you earn that type of money, it is pretty life-changing. If United are offering him a contract that big, it means that they want this guy to be the main guy at the club. So that is the only disheartening thing. Let's hope that something happens or changes in the future. Let's hope that Sanchez somehow gets back to form and kicks him out of the team so Martial gets pissed off. But it's still interesting. There's no concrete things yet in regards to whether he's going to stay yet or go permanently. But I mean, I've spoken about him so much in the summer. If you're signing Martial, you're signing him up front. When the club spoke to him and his agent, it was always about him playing up front. So again, I still think that's the selling point because we can offer that to Martial. I don't think he's going to get that at Man United. He's not going to be a striker there, not with Lukaku there. I think that if he wanted to really play as a striker, I think we are the most realistic club for him. Okay, you guys, just give me 1 second. Oh, shit. What? Oh, man. You guys, give me 1 second. Oh, shit. KFC's not ordering. They're not doing no deliveries anymore. Aye. That is so peak. Okay, Sarnish. Nini, what do you think about changing a no, Sarnish? I'm not going to lie. I don't want to sound like I'm being some prick or I think I'm being too big for my boots because I'm definitely not. But you guys should know that I do put a lot of effort into my videos with the points I'm making, the research, etc., etc. Like, I don't know. I've been beating this horse for a while. Why is anyone even asking me about a formation change? That shouldn't even be a question right now. No offense, bro, but it should not be something you're asking me. Nini is reacting to David Luiz's new contracts. McDonald's Uber Eats. Real talk. It might have to be, man. But I'm going to feel guilty eating McDonald's. I really am. It's an L on my part because my chicken didn't thaw in time. So it's definitely an L on my part. But I don't know, man. McDonald's and my body don't really react that well. So... But it's 11 o'clock and everything's closing. Hey, I guess some businesses don't like money that much, eh? Okay, cool. Jared Bradley, don't need to be eating that dead food, bro. Yeah, but I mean, I'm screwed for food, so I need to eat something. The opinion, Depay up front, can it happen? Of course it can. Juji Blue Nini, who's better, Luiz or Rudiger? I don't know. Me personally, I think that you guys are all gonna hate me, but I think that what's the real difference really between like Luiz and Rudiger? Because we've seen from both these guys, once they have to leave their position, they do look suspects. I mean, when Rudiger leaves his central position, how many times does he try those dead type of like slide tackles and he looks kind of dumb doing it? And the reason why I say they look similar is because, in my opinion, Rudiger is the white Luiz and Luiz is the black, you know what I'm trying to say. They're both the same type of player. So I've never understood why people latch on to Luiz more compared to Rudiger, because I think they kind of do the same stuff, in my opinion. Morley's, nay, God forbid. Hey, I'm not having pitching tonight, man. Morley's, nah. Hey, Morley's, that's in Ealing, right? Where's Morley? Yeah. Nah. Real talk, man. Out of Chicken Cottage and McDonald's, it would have to be McDonald's. I'm sorry. Harrison, hi Nini. Did you hear about Chelsea being linked with Hysaj? Yep, I've already heard about that a while ago. I don't like him, to be honest. I think it'll be a waste of money. Nah, I'm sorry. If you're going to Napoli and Hysaj's the guy you're targeting, what's the point? What's really the point? Luiz is more prone to brain farts, but now hear me out. Drew Blue 9877 is saying Luiz is more prone to brain farts, but who's on his left-hand side? That's Alonso. And when teams like to attack us, what area are they targeting us more? It's down that left-hand side where you see those runs in behind, because you know that Alonso has zero acceleration. Alonso. We know the guy's a slow guy. Alonso. Now, if you're Luiz, the reason why he looks even more susceptible is because he constantly leaves his position a lot because Alonso's not there. And, you know, when you look at football, every piece fits together. It's like a nice jigsaw puzzle. If one of your pieces ain't right, it's going to affect the other one and you're not going to complete things. So I think this is why Luiz gets a lot of criticism. But even when I saw that stupid video that was going around on Twitter about, Luiz is the reason why 7 goals are conceded, or all that type of shit, a lot of times that's coming from the left-hand side because Alonso wasn't there. Okay, Tala. The gal brought me back for round 2. Man's out of energy. Real talk, bro. Like, what kind of horny guy are you? Real talk. Wow. It's not. It's like a work. It's like a weekday. It's a Tuesday. Who's really beating like that on a Tuesday? Like you. I save that shit for the weekend. You're doing this on a Tuesday. Wow. Good luck, bro. Um, Carl 123, Aspie and Alonso do. Yes. Yep. They do not. Um, did you watch Aura today? Yes, I watched the game today, even though I was gassing saying I was gonna watch it on Twitter. Hey, Leon, they're a sexy team, I can't lie. Um, Kuro Gracie, thoughts on Ferland Mendy? Very good player. I like him. Um, thoughts on under? As I was saying before, they don't show Serie A, they don't show La Liga. I'm not gonna schedule my day or my weekend to watch Roma play Empoli. You know what I mean? If it, the beauty of having this shit on BT Sport and Sky was that if the TV's on in the background, if I'm watching TV, if I scroll through the sports channels, I can find a game on. Now, with how sports packages work, we're spending more money to get less games. If there's one thing I could change, if I had the power to change one thing, it would be how these stupid TV companies do business, because I can't accept that if I go to countries like in Asia or America or Germany, if I'm a fan, I could watch every single one of my team's games on TV. Yeah, I have to pay for Sky and BT to watch 30% of the games on TV. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. I don't know when it's ever going to change. It seems like it's getting worse because you get more people trying to come in to buy more of these rights. It's costing us more. We're getting a shitter service. And all these idiots, they're such pricks. If you guys have seen with Tiggs for me is one of the best, Chelsea channels, especially for those footage and compilations. He had to put a lot of his videos in private because for some reason, videos that he released time ago got, banned by the FA for using footage. And they're so extra and militant with doing this type of stuff. And it's like, why? Why are you so extra and militant? No one's not gonna buy Sky to watch some highlight clips on YouTube. No one's doing that. If anything, you old granddads in charge of these deals that are so out of touch with how society is today. If anything, these guys are promoting football. For example, imagine, I don't know, like Nicolas Pepe from Lille. Someone does a compilation video on him. You might be thinking, oh shit, you've watched it, right? This guy's a sick player. Oh, Lille are playing on TV. Alright, let me watch that. You've now got someone watching the game who never would have watched that. Imagine you're saying, oh, Wan-Bissaka. Hey, this guy's actually a good player. Oh, Crystal Palace are playing Bournemouth. Now, I never watched these two games at all. I never watched these games at all in my life if I had the chance, but I saw his compilation clip. He looks like a good player. Let me watch him. That's how you get people watching games that aren't watching it. And that's basically promoting the league, and it's promoting people to watch the games. I don't understand why they see it as competition or business. I think it's completely disgraceful. It really is. I don't know why they're so extra and militant with it. It's disappointing, and it's like someone like Tiggs put us in so much time in his videos to think that just randomly shit from months ago is getting taken down. Go to his channel right now. Only one video is there from a year ago because he was forced to private everything because he would have lost his entire channel because of that. I don't get it. I really don't. I think that Scudamore guy's left. There's some women in charge now. Is it going to change? Most realistically not. For some reason today, anytime women take over men, they just end up being 10 times as worse as these guys, and they don't really bring anything new to the table. So I don't know, man. It's really annoying in my opinion. Alright, you guys, I'm going to be here for like literally 3 more minutes and I'm going to bounce because I need to munch. I need to eat. It's been a long ass day. Any more super chats? I don't think so. Nope. Any more Patreon questions? Okay, there are. Okay, Josh Banks. Who is your number one choice for right wing? If money was no option, and this is the guy I always sign for every single FIFA game, that is Bernardo Silva. I love how he plays. I like the finesse shots, everything. I would sign him. I don't think it's probably going to happen, but I don't know. I don't know. If money was no option, I would love to sign him. Abdi, Nini, remember the Emerson news? He was going to drop on why he's struggling and keeping up the good work. Thanks, Abdi. I released that time ago. Like, for example, I'm not going to make an entire video just based on one thing because, number one, I'm not that view hungry. You know what I mean? I like to put more, I like quality of, just putting out any type of content. You know what I mean? This is why you'll never get like 3-minute videos, because I could easily, with how long my videos are, I could easily break all my videos up into tons and tons of different videos. I'd get way more views and I'd earn way more on top of that. But I don't like doing that. So as I was saying, I spoke about Emerson like a while, ages ago now, in a 5 talking points video. And yeah, basically he was just partying a bit too much. He wasn't being professional. Sarri was pissed off. This is why he was left out of that game against PAOK, our first game of the Europa League. Earlier Emerson tweeted out that, he wasn't actually injured and good luck, or, congrats for the victory. Of course, he took that tweet down like half an hour afterwards. And it was a stupid tweet to put out because, take the L. If you're focusing on pulling Gal on the club, then don't be surprised Sarri's going to be pissed off. You've got to do more. It's Alonso in front of you. It's not Marcelo. It's not Alexandro. It's not Felipe Luis. It's Alonso. If that's not motivation to step up and do more, I don't know what it is. But I think since then things have gotten much better, and this is why he has been played and used. So like I said, it's old news. Callum Ross, yes, thank you, Callum, for that. Don't want to bombard you with questions, man, but was wondering, would you sign back any of the following? Aki, Thorgan, or Jare? Aki's a decent player. I mean, there's going to be a time when Luis, Kale, and the rest won't be there. Nathan Aki, good player, but I think his weakness is that aerially he can be susceptible because he's not the tallest, but he is a good player. Thorgan Hazard, he's another good player as well. I would only sign Thorgan Hazard if he was part of the squad. He wouldn't be the signing I'd make for the first choice, but let's say we signed a big boy on the right wing and we made a second signing as backup, then I would take Thorgan Hazard. Hopefully that means Hazard is going to stay, if that was the case. And it's the same thing for Bertrand Traore as well. Dennis Taylor, thoughts on Zaha? I think Zaha should be playing for one of the big teams in the league now. I think he's ready to step up and move on. He needs to. It would be really frustrating if he ends up staying at Palace the rest of his career. He's one of the best attacking players, I got to say. I like to see him. Van Aanholt, for me, he's not of that ability to be the number one left back at Chelsea. Now, he's very good offensively. It's his best attributes. But with Van Aanholt, it's always been the tactical indiscipline and defending off the ball. And it's like, if people are moaning about Alonso being slow to get back in possession, people would constantly moan about Van Aanholt because he wouldn't even be smart enough to know where to be. So, again, if we had, let's say we already had an amazing left back and we just needed to sign someone to be a squad player, then I would look at Van Aanholt. But I don't think he's the answer for our first choice left back. That's all the Patreon questions answered. I'm going to answer like maybe 2 or 3 more, then I'm going to keep it moving. Alonso is a solid left back. Could have someone better, but he is solid. Yes, solid, not amazing. I think that at Chelsea, I think we can do better than solid, in my opinion. King Oscar, we bought Drogba from Marseille, but not Piatek from Genoa. To be honest, I don't really see how these 2 points go together, because Drogba's from Marseille and he's from, I mean, I don't know. But no, we're not looking at Piatek. Nini, did your barber mess up your hairline? No, it's not that. I just haven't brushed my hair. That's the honest reason. I haven't used my brush to brush it. You know what it's like, when your hair's pushed up, obviously it looks a bit peak, but oh shit, wow, whoa, that was bad. I've got waves too, so I need to get a do-rag, to be honest. I'm not doing justice to my waves, but it is what it is. FUTV, how do you think we can get past these teams that play with the mid-block and put a man on Jorginho? FUTV, I'm not answering that because I just released a video yesterday, 5 talking points, so I went into detail with that. I mean, I've released videos. A lot of the questions people even have are already answered. So if you really want an answer to that, bro, and you really want to watch more Blue Lines TV, you're going to enjoy the 5 talking points video I released. It's probably my most favorite one I have released. You'll get all your answers there. Deluded Blue, my guy. Good listening, Nini. Got me through my session. Make sure you get yourself some wings, bro. I might have to. I'm looking at potentially Chinese foods. I'm not too sure. You know what? I might have to put a poll on my community tab in regards to what food I should order. So I'm one of those guys, like when it comes to ordering food, I'm actually so stupid because it's like I have to look at every single option on the menu, and every option I'm reading, I got to visualize, how's this going to taste? Is this the type of flavor I want right now? You know, I close my eyes like I'm pretending I can smell it. I'm doing all that type of stuff. It makes it very long. My girlfriend gets really pissed off whenever we go to restaurants because it takes me too long to order. So you guys, if you want to help a brother out, you know what to do. No, I'm not balding at all. God forbid. That's not happening, touch wood. I'm not going to lie. I'll sound a bit arrogant, but my genetics are a bit too good for me to bald like that. If I was going to be balding, it would have happened already. I'd have a massive spot here. It's not happening. Like, look how I grow facial hair like nothing. I grew my first moustache in year 7 when I was like, what, 10 years old, 11 years old? Imagine that. I'm coming to school with a moustache at that age. I had to shave from that young. My genetics are too good to bald. That will never happen. But you guys, Nini, how do you like your steak? Obviously medium rare. I don't know why anyone wants their steak well done. I just don't get it. Why do you want it well done? I feel like you only cook your steak well done if you don't know how to make steak. Like all the flavors gone, all the juice is gone. I don't get it. Just eat different meat if you want it well done. Nini, when will you do a face reveal? Dickhead. D-Law, Nini, as long as you're not making spaghetti. Real talk. Honestly, all my spaghetti wars have gone now. Since Conte's gone, I'm having no issues with spaghetti or pasta. Make of that what you will. Dominoes. Nah, I think that's too much, man. All that cheese and filling at this time, I'll be on the toilet all night. Nah, my stomach's not what it used to be when I was younger. Why are you spamming Dominoes for? Why are you spamming? I'm not ordering Dominoes. Thai food. Hey, Josh Banks, you always got the solution. Thai food. You know what? You know when I was... Remember when I went to Thailand for my holiday? I went to Phuket. It was nice. It was decent. I don't know if I'll ever go back there again. That party scene. It was like... Imagine imagine all your seedy uncles went to one country, or yeah, that's what Phuket is. Bro, Phuket's not a country, it's a city. You guys know what I'm trying to say, but it's like all the food was dead. It was like, imagine getting shitty Thai takeaway. Everything was just bad. I just didn't really like Phuket that much. I should have gone somewhere else in Malaysia, to be honest, but I'm not gonna lie, I love Asian food, man. Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, I love that city. I'm probably gonna go back again. You guys, I'm thinking for July, you know that we're gonna have our pre-season tour in Japan. I'm actually thinking of potentially going to Japan. Obviously, I've always wanted to go. Imagine the food there. I can't imagine the amazing food I'm gonna eat. Obviously, the Japanese love their football. It's just a new scene. It's a new environment. Now, I'm just brainstorming. I'm thinking, wouldn't it be sick if like a few of us decided to go to Japan for whatever? Or if not, maybe I might try and find some of my guys to go with so they can help me record shit when I'm there. But I'm thinking, nah, you guys, I'm thinking Japan might have to be a thing in July. It really, really might have to be a thing. It'll be interesting, but I'll see what I can do. Like, I was looking at CFC Fan TV, and you saw that competition they had like yesterday. It was like, get like win a flight to the game in Budapest against Videoton. I don't know how they managed to secure that with a company, but I don't know. I don't know if it's even a thing, but is it not even possible to get sponsored flights and shit? I really don't know. It seems like CFC Fan TV were able to do that. If they can bring in people to win this type of shit, who knows? But I mean, Yeah, Japan would be sick, man. Now, you guys don't worry. I'm not gonna go to no forest when I'm there. Don't you worry about that. So I'll be far away from there. Nigerian foods at this time, that is definitely a myth. Nothing's gonna be open at this time. Nini fam, order panda yam. If you guys know a restaurant that's open at this time near my area, by all means, I'm good. I'm good. That's one thing that's annoying, man. I really need to look and learn how to start cooking African food. I really do. Like, you know what I've been doing recently when I'm working on videos, I normally got tutorials on YouTube of people making this, making that. Now the thing that's put me off making African food myself is that, oh my god, it's so long. The amount of pans you need at least like 4 or 5 pans minimum just to cook anything. You need like how many different meats as well. That's gonna cost how it's too long. It's too long. I don't want to spend my whole day cooking. So it's annoying. It definitely is. But order KFC now. Is it open? Is KFC open? Let me see. Let me see. Come on, KFC. Be open. Be open. Be open. Come on. Be open. Be open. Oh. What time does this place close? Oh, it closed at 10. Shit, nah, I messed up. But you know what I found really funny? You know, in all these apps that they have, they let you pre-order foods. But I'm thinking, imagine how fat you need to be to like to pre-order your fast food a day in advance. Like, how desperate are you for calories? How desperate are you for fast food that you're gonna pre-order your shit from a day before? If people do that, rah, real talk, man. You need to you have to have a deep look at yourself. Real talk. Ah, they're saying Sam's, but I don't know. Like, I feel like Sam's. I'm not gonna lie. Sam's wings are kind of nice. Sam's do have nice wings. Like, they spice it nicely too. I do have a little bit of weed on me as well. Ooh, could I run that tonight? Smoke up and chill afterwards. Ooh, I might have to. I might have to. I might have to. You know. But I would suggest Indian food. I love Indian food. I don't really get that type of shit from Indian food, to be honest. Damn. But yeah, you guys, man, I've realized I've been talking about foods like for like 20 minutes now. I should have left already. What am I doing? This makes no sense. Imagine I'm talking about food and I'm not ordering. But do the blue. How much do I party, Nini? I don't party at all anymore. Real talk. I'm not gonna lie. My life is really boring right now. Mundane. It's literally just work, football, Chelsea. That's really it. It can't continue like that. It's kind of boring. I need to definitely do more. I feel like I'm being a bit of a granddad recently. I'm not gonna lie. So my New Year's resolution next year is to definitely make sure I start going out more, because I'm just being by myself for too much. But that's what it's like doing YouTube. You know, you guys know the reason why I even watch my shit in the first place is because I like to put effort in and I like to take my time. I could easily be one of those guys that goes in his car and like starts recording himself, then upload it to YouTube. But that's really shit. Let's be serious. That's not good enough. You know, I like to take my time with the scripts. I like to take my time. I'll give you an example of the scripts I even write when I'm doing it. Like, everything is scripted. Every time I record 30 minutes worth of footage, 20 to 30 minutes worth. And then after that, I like to, you know, edit everything, cut everything. That's why there's so many cuts in my videos. I like to take my time doing it. And to do it properly, obviously, you know, you've got to put a bit of effort in. But let me give you an example. But yeah, look. Everything's scripted. And I actually had an idea, but again, I'm having all these ideas, but I'm not executing them. It's just finding the time, to be honest. But I was always thinking, with all the scripts that I make, wouldn't it be cool to have someone produce like, you know, like a little like I don't know, booklet or something. So it's like, you know, for some people that maybe want to like read everything instead of watch it, you got the option to do that. I'm not too sure, but I mean, yeah. You know what? I'm not going to think about ideas no more. I need to start executing them. But you guys, I need to go. Nah, I wasn't even thinking of Eunice. I mean, I'm not. Nah, you guys don't even make it about Eunice. I just mean in general. I mean, he's not the only one. There's tons of people that do that type of stuff. Like literally get their phone, records, and paste. Or you know what I mean? I just don't like to do it like that. But yeah, you guys are gonna get me into trouble right now. I need to go. Lamb Donna. Ooh, Lamb Donna. From Tasty. Where is that? I'm not. I'm on Uber Eats. I'm on everything. I'm not seeing no African foods. But you guys, you know what? I'm actually going right now. I need to smoke and I need to eat. I'm gonna bounce. Thank you for watching today's Q&A live stream. I'm gonna release one on Friday. On Friday, it is gonna be my birthday. So yeah, real talk, man. I'm getting old. I am getting old. Birthday on Friday. So expect one then, and I'm probably going to release that transfer video on a Friday as well to celebrate my birthday, because why not? I'm going to keep it moving. It's clear my God, so wants to go to bed now. Thank you for watching. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lines TV. Signing out. Boom.